What's up, dudes? This is Randy from the Hassyverse, and today we're talking about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the anime. Now, if you didn't know, yes, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the graphic novel series turned 2010 movie, is now getting an anime adaptation. And this news occurred a couple weeks ago, and I was thrilled when I heard about this, especially when Netflix confirmed that the entire cast of the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World movie was returning to do this anime as well. Now, if you don't know what Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is, and I'm sure there's quite a lot of you guys out there because nobody saw the movie, but it centers around a 20-something named Scott Pilgrim. He is in a band, this indie band, and this rock band isn't the most successful, and it's really just him struggling with his bandmates trying to survive day to day, but he ends up falling in love with this girl named Ramona Flowers, and in order to win her heart, he has to go through these 7 evil exes of hers, and they all have different abilities and different personalities, but their goal is to stop him from winning Ramona's heart. Now, the graphic novel series has become a big hit, but the movie, which does take quite a bit from that series, did not do well in the box office, which is really a shame because this movie was one that I knew I was going to watch back in 2010. I didn't really read the graphic novels, but I was somewhat familiar with at least the concept, the main concept. And after seeing the trailer, I knew it was definitely going to be something I would love because the fight scenes in this movie were so intense. They are so crazy, so radical, so wacky, and just littered with video game references all over. I mean, if you love video games, there's no reason why you should watch this movie because it's just so much of a love letter to that. And Brian Lee O'Malley is also a fan of video games, and honestly, the story that he created is kind of loosely based off his own. And I really enjoyed this movie. And if you didn't know, Edgar Wright, who's known for Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and some other big, quirky movies, also helmed this movie at the time. And like I said, it was well received by the people who watched it. The problem was not enough people watched it. It came out, I believe, in the summer of 2010 too, which, just kind of fell off. Though you would have expected it to do much better, it unfortunately didn't, and that's why we really saw nothing else. But the movie starred Michael Cera as the title role, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Ramona, and we had some other great cameos by Chris Evans. We also had Kieran Culkin. We had Aubrey Plaza. We have so many good actors out there who acted their butts off in this film, and it's just really a shame that it really went nowhere. I don't know the reason for this, but I'm pretty much going to hearken it to the world wasn't really ready for this film yet. I think just nerdiness and just nerd culture just was really starting around that time, and people just weren't really kind of grasping onto it at that point. And I think it was just overlooked amongst many of the other movies out there. And I really feel this anime is going to change things. I think it's a game changer for Netflix. Now, like I said, the entire cast of the movie is returning to do this anime. And I'm talking Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ellen Wong, Brie Larson, Kieran Culkin, Anna Kendrick, Allison Pill, Mark Webber, Aubrey Plaza, Johnny Simmons, Satya Baba, Chris Evans, Brandon Ruth, Mae Whitman, Jason Schwartzman. Now, some other good things to know about the anime is that Science Saru is actually animating this series, which they're known for Devilman Crybaby and Keep Your Hands Off Esoken, which is a nice little underrated series. If you haven't watched it, you can find it on Crunchyroll. Now, also, O'Malley is going to be an executive producer, and he's going to be a showrunner for the series. Also, Edgar Wright is going to executive produce as well. So I really feel this anime series is going to be a home run. And I think it's just because we have all the bases still intact, which is really rare. I think they even understood how good that film was, but just realized the people were not ready. And I feel like they always wanted to return to the series if they could. But unfortunately, it just didn't happen for them. But now that there's an opportunity here at Netflix to go back to this and do it as a voice role, it still makes sense for them to return. And I really think this is great. And it's one of the things about Netflix that really is kind of strange to me, because a lot of their anime just downright stinks. The ones that they do have that are good are very good, exceptionally good. Devilman Crybaby. We could talk about Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which both won awards at the Crunchyroll Awards. Arcane, because it's technically not an anime, but there's Super Crooks. Netflix has some good anime series out there, even ones they created themselves, and I just can't wait for this series to come out. I'm calling it now because I want the world to know that this anime is gonna do well. I feel it's gonna be probably the hit the year it comes out and win a bunch of awards, because I think if they keep that consistency that they had, I see no reason why it's not gonna be successful. This series will be so fun to watch, and I think now is the time to do this. Now nerd culture has grown to a point to where it's so relevant. Now, if you have not seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, then you need to do so right now. I believe it was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it is now. If you love video games, you're gonna love this series. Now, I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and if you like what you watch, you can check out more by clicking the platypus there, somewhere around here, somewhere in ether you'll find them. And I hope you guys have a great day, night, morning, whatever it is where you live. And don't forget to stay nerdiest.